Bienvenidos a la SBP Coaches Academy e-learning. Today's presentation will be about getting open for the ball, spacing, and movements of the screen. The most important part of offense is spacing. Proper spacing allows the players to move and create opportunities for great shots. Let's take a look.
Spacing is simply the distance between players. It may be used in connection with a whole team or in connection to the distance between two players. The ideal spacing distance between players is 12 to 15 feet and or 15 to 18 feet apart. It is also the most important aspect in offense. Spacing drill 3-on-0. Players position themselves at the point wing on a 3-on-0 situation. They must always fill the spots to balance the floor and use the 3-point arc as a guide to spacing. Players must execute the pass and cut move or give and go to the basket, then fill the open spot. Player on the weak side fills the open spot vacated by the cutter to balance the floor well. Players need to jab fake, opposite to where they want to go. Show their hands as target for the passer when they cut to the basket. If they do not receive the ball, they conceal in the paint for a bit before filling the open spot. Purpose: offensive players learn to keep their 12 to 15 feet or 15 to 18 feet apart spacing. Practice filling the open spot for balance and execute proper give-and-go techniques. Spacing drill 4-on-0. Players position themselves at the point wing corner on a 4-on-0 situation. They must always fill the spots to balance the floor and use the 3-point arc as a guide to spacing. Players must execute the pass and cut move or give and go to the basket and fill the open spot. Player on the weak side fills the open spot vacated by the cutter to balance the floor well. Players need to jab fake, opposite to where they want to go. Show their hands as target for the passer when they cut to the basket. If they do not receive the ball, they conceal in the paint for a bit before filling the open spot. Purpose: offensive players learn to keep their 12 to 15 feet or 15 to 18 feet apart spacing. Practice filling the open spot for balance and execute proper give-and-go techniques.
All good offenses have great spacing and movement. As the late Coach Chuck Daly said, offense is spacing and spacing is offense. Basketball cuts alongside screens are essential to any good offense. It can cause defensive breakdowns and create scoring opportunities. Watch this.
Executing off-ball screens. These are tactics requiring proper coordination on the part of 3 different players carrying out 3 different roles. The screener, the receiver, and the passer. The screener. Execute a knees bent jump stop. Then keep your arms tucked in close to the body and target the shoulder of the defender of your teammate being screened. Maintain vision of the ball by looking over your shoulder. Assume a solid wide base by not allowing the defender to push through the screen. Be stationary and do not lean or step out at the last moment. Remember, if you miss the screen, you miss the screen. The receiver. Set up the screen by walking the defender down in the opposite direction of the screen. Then change direction and accelerate off the screen. Put head up and eyes on the passer. Then drive the defender into the screen by taking a step with the inside foot directly into the screener. Then step over the screen with the outside foot. Come off the screen tight and hard, shoulder to shoulder. Have both hands up coming off the screen as a target for the passer. The passer. Use the ball or pass fake in the opposite direction. Recognize how opponents are defending the screens and be alert for the counter options of your teammate. Do not telegraph the pass. Use sharp and crisp passes at all times. Pop. Receiver's read. When the defender goes under the screen and the receiver steps towards the ball and anticipates a possible shot. Screener's read. If the receiver's defender goes under the screen and the receiver pops out for the shot, the screener rolls to the basket. If the receiver does not shoot, the screener finds another teammate to screen. Curl. Receiver's read. When the defender trails, the receiver curls to the basket. Screener's read. If the receiver curls to the basket, the screener must step back to the ball, replacing the receiver to receive the ball or balance the floor. Back cut or backdoor. Receiver's read. If the defender cheats over the screen early, the receiver back cuts to the basket for a layup. Screener's read. If the receiver back cuts, the screener must step back to the ball, placing the receiver to receive the ball or balance the floor. Flare. Receivers read. If the defender cheats under the screen early, the receiver flares. Screeners read. If the receiver flares, the screener cuts to the basket for a pass or a rebound. Slip. Receivers read. If the screener's defender shows on the screen, the screener immediately slips and cuts to the basket. Screeners read. If the defense switches, the screener can slip or seal off the receiver's defender and rolls to the basket for a shot.
This breakdown drills teaches key fundamentals to run the motion offense more effectively. This presentation was made possible by Mr. Jong Uichico. Muchísimas gracias.